My name is Morgan and welcome to Happy Makes You. For today's video, we are going to be talking about the progress on my current works in progress. How far have I gotten in the past 2 weeks? And then also today I'm going to be talking to you guys a kind of a mini review on the Yarn Bee Authentic Hand Dyed Yarn, which is Hobby Lobby's hand dyed yarn that they have. They have a nice selection of it, and I've been using one of these shades for my sweater that I've been currently working on, and I have a few thoughts that I'd like to share with you guys. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to talk to you guys about are my current whips or works in progress. So I will start with my socks. So last video I talked to you guys all about my journey with my socks, that I really want to make a pair of socks, but I'm worried that they're going to be too loose, and I still have that fear. So I can't remember how far I was on my last video on them, so I'll just kind of show you where I'm at. So the first sock that I started, I finished up the foot, and I'm going to be starting the gusset and then the heel. I'm actually going to be doing that later today, so that's where I'm at with it. It's looking a little big, but I am loving the colors, so that's a positive to it. But I do like how it's turning out. I just may have to go down one more size so it can fit my foot a little bit better. I'm trying to figure out how I would like to make my sock, because I'm going to be getting some sock yarn in the mail soon for some Christmas socks, and I don't believe they're going to have as much nylon in them, so I kind of need to figure out what size is going to be good for me to make. So this is kind of a trial and error thing, but I'm super excited I'm actually making a pair of socks. So this is the first sock where I'm at on it, and I decided that I wanted to start the second sock just so then I have it cast on, and then whenever I'm done with that one, I'll have no excuse to not work on the second one. So I just have the little toe done, so I use the magic loop method, and it's just a little toe. It's all ready to go, and the actual shades are kind of the same. This one has a little bit more of a middle shade purple, then it goes to dark purple. This one, it just had like the tippy toe was the middle shade purple, where this one there's actually a couple rows that's that shade. So they're almost the same, but not quite. But I'm not too worried about that. I think they'll be close enough. I don't really think I will mind at all, but I am super excited, so I definitely want to work on this today a little bit more. And then my where is it? My knitted blanket, I finished up my seed stitch heart block. So this is what that looks like, and it's in this beautiful green shade. I just love the shade of green. It's just so happy, and I feel like it's kind of a unique color. So I really do like how this turned out, and I started my next one. I think I only have like, 2 rows on it, and this one's going to be using the green shade again, and the Stonewash pink, like magenta shade, and then the cream off-white color. So these are going to be really pretty together. I'm super excited. Tomorrow's Sunday, so I'll be working on my knitted blanket all day, because that's what my Sundays are for, me to relax and just enjoy kind of the slow process of knitting while working on my blanket. So I might block my blocks and maybe sew a couple of them up, and then also start on my next block and work on that and hopefully get it done. I'm kind of striving for 1 block a week, which would be 1 block every Sunday. That's what I'm hoping for. I think I might be able to get it done. And now the never-ending project, which is the Perfectionist trap. I don't know why it's taking me so long to work on this. I think it's because I'm not picking it up very much. So it looks the same as I showed you last time I showed you guys. And by the way, side note, I do know I missed the last week's video. I honestly had nothing really to talk about, and I really had not gotten that far on my project, so I just felt like I was going to be repeating the week before video. So that's why I skipped a week. I thought maybe if I waited a week, I have a lot more to show you guys, and honestly, I do actually have a lot more to share with you guys. So that's why I missed a week, just letting you know. But yeah, this is as far as I've gotten, not very far at all compared to last time I showed you guys. It's just, I've been just not very motivated to work on it, but I really do want to get it done. I'm trying to set some goals in mind of what I want to get done, and I really do want to finish this up this month. And I want to finish up pretty much all my projects this month, so I kind of need to get going because we already are almost halfway through the month. So yeah, there is that problem. But I haven't even started the second skein yet, and I cannot believe how much I've gotten done in one skein. It is just kind of amazing in my mind, because I forget knitting does not take a lot of yarn, and I still have this much left. So kind of surprising, but actually really happy. So yeah, not a lot to show with this one because it doesn't look very different. I think the project I have worked on the most and have made the most difference with is my sweater. So I just joined my second skein of yarn to start rotating between skeins of yarn again, so to help prevent color pooling. I just got done with some short row sections, which I'd never done short rows before, so it was a lot of fun learning that. I love learning new techniques of knitting because it just reminds me that I'm still growing as a knitter. I don't know how to do everything, so it was really fun to be able to learn how to do that, and I really enjoyed it, and I love how it looks. I love that the bottom is not just a straight across, that it kind of has an oval effect to it, so I'm really excited about that. I think it's gonna add a little bit of a different look, and I've never had a sweater have that type of bottom before, so I'm really excited about that. And since I have started on the body, that means my sleeves are done. So I did finish the second sleeve. So this is the second sleeve that I finished last week, and I have to say I'm kind of disappointed with how bad it color pooled. The cream color is just all right here, and luckily that's gonna be kind of under the arm, so I'm not as upset about it, but it still was a little bit disappointing. I just think I'm not understanding how to switch between skeins. Maybe I need to do every row. I thought I read somewhere that you switch every 6 rows or rounds. I don't know if I misunderstood or if I did something wrong. I feel like it's my fault with why this is color pooling so bad. But even then, like, I would have where the next skein I would try to color pool in the same area. I mean, so I don't know what I did wrong. But like I kind of said in my past couple of videos, this is a work in progress. I'm learning a lot from this, especially with the yarn, because I've never used hand-dyed yarn before, especially with making a bigger project, and I have read that you need to use different skeins to prevent color pooling, but I feel like I increased color pooling, so I don't know what I did wrong. I'm hoping to learn from this experience, and I've been really trying to live by how people say, like, love your imperfections in your knitting. Like, even if your stitches don't look perfect, it's okay, you're not a machine. So I've been really trying to live by that, especially with this project, because I love the colors, I love the sweater, but it's not meshing very well, and I'm kind of disappointed. But that's okay, we're gonna learn, we're gonna live and learn. But what I want to talk to you guys about today, and I mentioned in the beginning of the video that I wanted to do kind of a yarn review on this yarn because there's been some struggles with it, and whenever I hauled a bunch of this hand-dyed yarn back, I don't even remember when, I think it was back in the summer, a lot of people asked for reviews and what does the yarn look like when it's worked up. I don't know about you, but whenever I look up Hobby Lobby's hand-dyed yarn, nothing really comes up with people using it, which kind of is a red flag to me, because why are people not using it? Is it a bad quality? What's going on there? So I want to do kind of a mini review on my experience, and then whenever I finish up the sweater, I'll kind of give this is my final thoughts. So this is my thoughts right now in the middle of the sweater, what is going on with it. So there are 2 different types of Hobby Lobby hand-dyed size 1 yarn. Now they do have a size 3, which I also have, that I'm going to be making a sweater out of as soon as I finish this one. So who knows how my experience is going to be with that one. I'm hoping a little bit better than this one. So this is the Yarn Bee Authentic Hand Dyed, and this is in the shade Supernova. So this was last year's clearance, so 2021's clearance. and this is 100% superwash merino wool. You get 400 yards, it's 100 grams. It's basically like buying a skein of fingering weight off of a yarn store, like a yarn shop that's hand dyed. You get the same amount of grams, I think around the same type of yardage, kind of depending on who you order from. It kind of varies in yardage. And yeah, so let's talk about this yarn a little bit. So it does say hand-dyed yarn can have a slight color variation from skein to skein, which I agree with. One of my skeins has a really bright yellow and a really bright blue, and then the rest of my skeins have kind of more of a goldeny yellow and a greenish blue. So I kind of messed up on that. I take full responsibility on the fact that I used the bright yellow a little too much, and now I don't really have a lot, because with my short rows, I decided just to use one skein. If it color pools, it color pools kind of thing, because I really didn't want to try to switch skeins while I was trying to learn how to do short rows. I didn't want to add more stress on me, so I was like, you know what, we're just going to use one skein for the entire bottom, and then we'll start switching through again. If it looks okay, hopefully it looks okay, hopefully it blends. We're going to see. But I used the bright yellow instead of the golden yellow, and I think you're going to be able to tell, because the bottom has a bright yellow and a bright blue, and then the rest of them are going to be kind of a goldeny yellow. So I'm going to try my best, but we're going to have to see. But I have one big complaint with this yarn. It's not consistent with the feel of it, which is so weird to me, because I have been using hand-dyed yarn with my Perfectionist trap shawl, which is DK weight but it's bigger. I have not had any variation in the weight of the yarn. So I don't know if there's a difference with fingering weight and DK weight, with there being like inconsistencies with the weight of the yarn with just hand-dyed yarn. I don't think there should be. The yarn I have felt that I got at DFW Fiber Fest does not feel like this. So I think there's something wrong, because I have experienced this with Hobby Lobby yarn before, where the yarn is not consistent at all. So here's my struggles. Sometimes, and especially in the colored section, so it goes from a bright pink to a yellow to a blue, back to the yellow, and then ends with the bright pink. So it kind of goes from pink all the way back to pink, basically. It makes a full circle. I can tell like it changes consistency, especially in the colored portions. It gets bigger. So like in a lot of the blue sections, the yarn feels thicker, and it's kind of weird, but it does. And then in the cream sections, the off-white sections, it will get very, very thin. And we're talking like lacy thin type yarn. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if it's just the skeins I'm using. I don't know if this is why they got rid of this color shade. This shade. I don't know if that's why they got rid of it. There wasn't a very good consistency, like what's going on here. So I'm not saying this is like, I just think it's really odd, because I've had this struggle with Hobby Lobby yarn before, of there being inconsistencies with the weight of the yarn. It's usually very consistent for a little bit, but then all of a sudden, bam, there's like a fat portion, and it goes up a size in yarn, and then all of a sudden it gets really, really teeny tiny. So this sweater, I hope this sweater turns out cute. I really do, because I'm going to be so disappointed if it doesn't. But I have to say, I'm not going to blame a lot of it on myself, because I think a lot of it is going to come back to the way the yarn was made, because it's not consistent at all. So just because it does say that it's hand dyed, it is $15 normally. Like I said, I got mine on clearance. It still has the same problems as other Hobby Lobby yarn in the Yarn Bee line. I've had, the only yarn I really don't think I've had a problem with is I love this yarn, and I love this cotton. I can't think off the top of my head, I don't think I've had a problem with inconsistency with that yarn. It's like other fancier yarns where it's going away from acrylic, like the basic acrylic, and it's maybe like linen, bamboo, different fibers like that, like they really struggle to stay consistent with their weight. So like I said, I don't know if I just got a bad couple skeins or if they're all like this. I don't know. I'm not going to say like this is, like I said, that's why at the end when I'm done with my sweater, I'm going to kind of do my final thoughts on the yarn. But right now I'm kind of leaning towards, I would never pay full price for this yarn, ever. And I don't even know if I'm going to buy this yarn again, even if it goes on clearance, because I'm having such a hard time with it because it's so inconsistent. And you want your yarn to be consistent because you don't want your gauge to be thrown off. You don't want there to be like holes because the yarn went super thin on you, and for like a couple of stitches it goes really small and it looks really weird. I don't know, I'm kind of disappointed in that. I'm trying not to get irritated with it. Like I said, I'm trying to embrace the imperfections and embrace the process and just learn from it. But right now I'm kind of learning I don't really want to use, I hope the other yarn I bought is better and this is just kind of a fluke. It's one of maybe their older skeins, maybe they were still trying to figure out what skeins to use, but right now I'm not super impressed with the yarn and I'm kind of disappointed in it actually, which is really sad because I don't want to be disappointed, but I am disappointed in it, and I hope that it gets better because I really don't want my sweater to look really janky and just look like I don't know what I'm doing. It just looks like something threw up on my sweater because it has splotches of color everywhere. So I'm hoping it's going to pull all together and it's going to look really cute, but if not, then oh well, I tried type thing. I'll learn from my mistakes, but we'll see. But I just thought I would share with you guys kind of my thoughts on the yarn, because a lot of people were really curious. Now, like I said in the beginning, I know they have a different type of size 1 yarn. I think it's 50% merino wool and 50% something else. It's shinier. It doesn't look as matte as this one. And then they do have DK weight, and I think they even have chunky, but I did not buy the chunky. I did buy the DK weight though, and I'm using that for a sweater after I'm done with this one. So I'll be able to kind of tell you guys more about that one. But for the size 1 Supernova, I'm not super impressed with it. Like, I think it's okay. It's just reminding me of other Hobby Lobby yarn, and I know I've talked to you guys a lot about me trying to invest more into quality than quantity, especially with I'm trying to get my yarn stash down. So I think I'm just kind of disappointed because I was hoping, since this had a little bit of a larger price, I was hoping the quality was going to be better, and I'm just running into the same problems I run into with a lot of Hobby Lobby yarn, and it kind of makes me sad because I really would love to find some good, affordable, not acrylic yarn, and I'm just kind of disappointed because this is superwash merino wool, which a lot of hand-dyed yarn is on, and I'm just kind of disappointed that the quality is not really there like I wish it was. I would rather spend more money on yarn and get quality and not have those inconsistencies than spend, even though I only spent $3.74 on this, but my sweater is not going to look how I want it. But I'm still going to finish it because I really do want to make the sweater. Even if I'm going to learn from it, that's okay. I'd rather learn from it and then be able to move forward, maybe make another one and know like, okay, I'm not going to do this time. Things like that, and also be learning more about color pulling and when I should change my colors. So I'm kind of learning all in this sweater. I just hope the sweater still turns out and looks cute, if that makes sense to you guys. Okay, my battery died. This is not the day for me to film. Boo. That's okay. We're almost done with this video, and hopefully I can get through this before my next battery dies, because it's really low too. But anyway, like I said, I am just really struggling with Hobby Lobby's inconsistency. So would you guys let me know in the comments below, have you guys used this yarn? Are you guys experiencing the same thing I'm experiencing, or is it just me? Did I get a bad bunch of skeins? Let me know down in the comments below. I would like to know. I really would, because I would love for this yarn to work out, but like I said, it's just not turning out how I would like it to. So definitely please let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are. I would really like to know, and maybe I can learn a thing or two, because I don't know everything. I would love to learn like how not to have color pooling happening all the time. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Somewhere I read it's 6 rows, and I even asked my mom and she's like, yeah, that's what she read somewhere too. But maybe I read the wrong thing. I don't know. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!